Does that sound familiar? It goes all the way back to 2002 for me. I first wrote it about this Russian girl I used to know. And it was called Supernova. And I thought it would make a good space song. I'm doing space songs at home now. They take a lot of time. And so far the first couple have turned out to be older songs again. And I'll give you a couple examples. One of them would be this one right here. There's my moonshot, and I took it with my video camera, of course, because the camera doesn't have the exposure, long enough exposure to capture the moon. It's too far away. And here's my latest work here this is about 16 hours of effort here. Actually about 20 hours. I just noticed this was when I discovered that the snare, when you record a snare at a slow tempo, it distorts the snare. It spreads the snare out over a longer interval, and it really sounds crappy. So I had to go make a new project so I could record the drums at a faster tempo and then import it just for the snare sound in this recording, because the snare has to sound clipped. It's going at a nice little clip, and I guess I had it set on half the speed that it was supposed to, but those samples, they hardly ever fit into my music, as you can see. This is drums here, all this. This is drums. I'll show you here. These are my drums for the verse in this song. This goes with the guitar that I was playing earlier there. See, these are kicks up here, and the snares are here. Right? Nice snare sound though. Learn something new every day. So and then here's my bass line, and I had to kind of think about it, and it was also kind of tricky to get it inside the rhythm. And I also have to break it up for mixing too, to be able to control the volume if I play it too loud in one spot. And so it always ends up getting broken to a million pieces. But I was looking at this and thinking, it looks like music. It looks like almost like this is like the sheet music of the future, because computers are going to be the medium that people are going to use. And this is what music looks like on a computer. And it sort of compares favorably with musical notation, I think. Anyway, let's listen to it all together here and tell me if this sounds familiar to you. That high-end guitar is coming from this level here. It's kind of like chopsticks, but on a guitar, It's like space chopsticks on a guitar. And that came to me, it took a while to kind of figure that out. It came to me in my head. I knew it would give my chorus an edge. Does this sound familiar to you people? because I could swear I heard something like this on the radio. And I sat and listened and I thought, that sounds like Supernova. Anyway, that's one of the ones I'm working. You can see it's a lot of work, you know, with all these levels here. This, and, you know, and with little extras. And you can look at this, like how I put in the cymbals here. I put them in every 2 beats. I inserted them every 2 beats. And look how I put in the hi-hat here. Same thing. Down lower, I think, here. Yeah, there it is. There's the hi-hat put in every 2 beats. That takes time to do that. And it's to try to make it sound good. You know, a good snare sound, a good hi-hat. Everything tight. Everything really tight, you know, like a lot of this stuff I've lined it up by the hairline, you know, where I'd actually line it and stop it right, you know, just before and then move it back to make it fit exactly in. This kind of work, you know, makes a difference in a good recording and an excellent recording, I think. Besides being able to create a good song. I haven't written or rewritten the words for this yet, but if you know who took it, you can go ahead and report them now. I'm gonna probably write words for it, but if you can tell that it's a song that you heard on the radio, it's one that I shared, and I'm in the middle of rewriting it now. And there's another one like that, another space song. Going through a kind of spacey phase right now where I want to use the echoey guitar sounds more. Here's another one, and it sounds again very familiar. Another space mix here, and since it sounds so familiar that look, I'm sharing it with you before I even finish writing the words, because I just have a very strong feeling it's something I already completed in the past. And this is more of a kind of droning thing in A, and once again, I'm trying to break up the guitar a bit more. I'm trying to sound more musical now in my rock, and move away from the more distorted sounds. So this is you know, this sounds like a kind of good space song. Sort of jazzy sounding there with that. I like using a C, like leaving that top string open on an open C for that jazz chord. This one had a pretty easy bass line, but look at the drums, you know. The drums take me hours and hours. Look at this. And those are cymbals down here. They're going to come in. Kind of magical impact in that spot. And this would have been how I shared it 12 years ago. This is what they stole. Look at it. It's an enormous amount of work. Okay, does this sound familiar to people here? I did some more, I kind of played around a bit with cymbals here, you can see, inserting in every 2 beats. Kind of soften it up there. And it's very rare that I get that much drumming that fits my song. once again, if you know who took that, if you know the words to it and everything, at least the words the way I wrote it last time, feel free to report them, question them about it. It's another old song that I'm rewriting, I'm pretty sure. And I wasn't trying to say I was better than anyone else by talking about how I spend my time. I said that's how an artist spends his time, and I was speaking of an artist strictly as, in the sense of someone who writes songs. I can't think of any other word for them, and so someone who writes songs spends their time writing songs, doing this, like filling their GarageBand program